Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Again, my name is Nick Lawrence, two-time Ironman, and this channel is fully dedicated to everything Ironman triathlon and endurance sport. In this channel, as many of you know already, I am documenting my journey to attain a sub-12 Ironman in one of the hardest courses in the country, Lake Placid, New York. And what makes it difficult is really the bike leg. So I think this past year, because I do minor modifications to the course each year, the total elevation gain was around 8,000 feet for the 112 miles, and there's a pretty substantial elevation gain also on the run. So it's factors like these that make it considered one of the most difficult ones in the country. The swim is amazing. It's just a lake swim, so no waves, like no current working against you, even though most river swims the current ends up working in your favor. So it's really, all in all, a really good race, and that's kind of why I go back there, or why I'm going back for the third time. So my first Ironman ever done was at Lake Placid, New York. The second one was also Lake Placid, and now the third one, where I'm attempting my sub 12, is at Lake Placid. Could I have chosen an easier course to do my sub 12 effort? Yes. But there's something about having variables remain consistent to me that is alluring. Like if I did a much easier course, say Maryland or Florida, then and I'd probably get like 11 or even in the 10s, but it's the challenge of doing what I know is harder and getting a better time in that effort. Because realistically, if I went ahead and did one of the easier courses and like crushed this goal of sub 12, then in my mind I wouldn't feel like I actually hit the goal, because I was comparing a 13:51 time one year in Lake Placid to a sub 12 time somewhere completely different. So just for me, I like the idea of maintaining consistency in the course and in the difficulty of the course, so that I can better gauge my improvement year over year. This doesn't mean that I'm only ever going to do Lake Placid Ironman. I was actually toying with the idea of doing a destination trip Ironman, not this next one, probably the one after that, but you know, playing it by ear. It's a very personal thing, and this is exactly what people mean when they say run the race you're in, you're only racing yourself. Things like that are really to instill the thought, the concept, the mentality that you really shouldn't care what other people think or what goals other people are hitting in their own races, in their own times of life, etc. Because one, it's hard enough to even compare race A to race B, but it shouldn't even really matter to you. So you set your own goal and you set out to accomplish that goal, and you either hit it or you don't hit it. It really shouldn't matter what other people are doing. As far as a new Ironman, say like brand new to the sport, hitting like a 10-hour Ironman on their first try on, say, like an easier course, even if that makes you feel a certain way as someone who might be slower like me, I'm not fast, you do well to mind your own and not allow their success or their failure or their choices to dictate how you're going to choose to approach your training, your racing, your hobby. This is a hobby. This is not usually people's primary source of income. this is something we do for fun, and this is something we do for the challenge and our own personal challenge and the standard that we're holding ourselves to. So this is me telling myself, but also telling anyone who cares to listen or needs to hear this, that run your own race has many layers to it, but the real core of the mentality, of the mental framework, of that phrase lies even deeper with your own sense of confidence and choice and how you choose to live your life. So that was a nice tangent that I went on. Hopefully that spoke to somebody. Hopefully somebody found some value in that. That is a bit of an experience perspective. Now, leading into this next race, if many of you are going to be watching this channel over the next 8 months to a year, here's what you can expect. So the month of December, I'm not imagining a ton of progress is going to be made, and with the realistic reason of that being the surgery that I just got out of, like, I think 5 days ago now. I don't think I'll be able to, and don't mind me, I'm going to check my phone real quick. I don't think I'm going to be able to, or should be able to, get back to training until next Friday, which is the 6th of December, which, leaves me a good amount of time in December to start climbing back in fitness. Anything that I may lose over this week and a half, 2 weeks of break. But the real Ironman training is going to begin January 1st. That's when this training block is going to fully, officially commence. And hopefully by that point, I have better systems for documenting my workouts, capturing them to make better content, B-roll for something like this. And, by then I'll probably be at like nearly 90 to 100 of these videos. So it feels kind of crazy because I started this like 2.5 or a little over 2 months ago, and I've been doing a video every single day, and I can see the improvement from when I would shoot like an intermittent video earlier in the year. I remember recording myself, and I would literally start the camera and feel so awkward that I would have to do probably like 20 takes before I can have enough to say in enough of a clear voice to not continually have to go pause the phone, because I was just shooting it on my phone. You don't have to start crazy. Go pause the thing and then restart. And I remember sitting in my room with like terrible lighting. My last apartment, even aside from just buying this new light box, but the lighting on the ceilings, just the standard lighting in the room, was dim. I think in total there were 2 lights in my living room kitchen, because it was like a 380 square foot small tiny apartment in New York. And I just remember being so bad at speaking on camera. And now going into this next prep, I know that I'm much better equipped to talk about and teach the things that I'm doing as I'm doing them, and as I'm preparing for a much higher level goal. I didn't really set a time goal for this last year's. There was a part of my mind that for some reason I was thinking I just kind of skinned by, or scraped by the skin of my teeth, is the expression. Like, I just barely made it through my first Ironman. I just barely finished on time. And there was this thought in my head that maybe it was a fluke and maybe I just had enough of the mental desire to like bull my way through it. And then I destroyed that time on the second race. And now feeling much more confident in my ability and much more comfortable in the sport and knowing where I am now at the beginning of training, I'm really excited to see how this next race goes, because it's we're starting from a different point. We're starting from a much better foundation. So that's what I'm looking at for the new year. And I look forward to leaning on some of your feedback as you watch and as you see the channel grow and as you see me grow, as you see me get better at presenting my information. I have not opted to do more like prepared things, like creating a presentation on my laptop and walking through a slide package. I think that kind of defeats the purpose of a daily update, daily vlog. But now that I have this office, this is my office. It is slightly messy, so I'm going to show you what I have going on here. So my bookshelf, my bike, behind the camera here. No need to show that. That's my closet. And then I have my computer and my workstation over here. So now that I actually have like a dedicated space for my efforts, I'm excited to see what this next year has to bring. So that's a good ending thought as we roll into Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I do plan on partaking and eating a fair bit, but in all honesty, I've never been like the type to eat much more on Thanksgiving than I would any other day. I think I eat pretty well, so it's just going to be a nice time to get to spend with family, loved ones, and just relax at home for a day or two, and then hit the ground running again. Looking at the bright side of things, the surgery couldn't have come at a better time, because now I can actually be off of training. I don't have to worry about hitting like a 10-mile run tomorrow and then again on Saturday with my bike in between and whatever else, and then worrying about like the fact that I want to hit my training blocks and all this stuff when I should be enjoying time with family. So that is my plan. That's what I aim to do, and I will be doing a video tomorrow, but if it comes out at any weird time, I'll say now, because you won't be probably watching this tomorrow. You might watch this the following day. But you might not watch tomorrow's video tomorrow. You might watch that the following day. So I'll say now, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you and your families have a wonderful time together, if that's who you're choosing to celebrate with. If you're choosing to celebrate with friends, I hope you and your friends have a nice Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you tomorrow.